What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over my predictions and breakdowns for UFC Fight Night Adesanya versus Imavov. This is going to be a banger, man. There's a lot of sick fights in this card. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Hamdi Abdel Wahab versus Jamal Pogues. I am going to go with Hamdi via a unanimous decision. I was going to go with Jamal Pogues originally because more UFC experience and Hamdi's been out for a while, but I don't know, man. Hamdi, he was out because of like some failed drug tests and stuff, but he's back on a Saudi card as an Egyptian fighter, so chances are he's still on the sauce. If you put those pieces together, but yeah, even without like the whole steroids sort of thing, Hamdi is a high level Greco-Roman wrestler. Jamal Pogues got taken down and controlled by Thomas Peterson. He has shown weakness to wrestlers, and I mean, yeah, I just think Hamdi's going to get the takedowns and he's going to beat Jamal by decision. Jamal does have decent output on the feet, a lot more than most heavyweights, but I don't know. I don't think that output's going to be enough when Hamdi's riding top mount for fucking 7 minutes. But yeah, man, I gotta go Hamdi here by a unanimous decision. Let's move on to the next fight. Bogdan Grod versus Lucas Alexander. Bogdan Grod, like, this guy looks like how his name sounds. Like, just sound out the name Bogdan Grod and then look at this guy. Like, yeah, that's Bogdan Grod, all right. But yeah, I'm gonna go Lucas Alexander as a slight underdog. I don't know, man. I just think he's slightly more impressive. Bogdan Grod, I went back and rewatched both of his Contender Series fights. The first one, he got starched out in the first round by Tom Nolan. And I mean, to be fair, I think Tom Nolan's pretty solid, so not a terrible look. But in his next fight against Michael Aswell, he lost that in my opinion. That was a robbery. Bogdan Grod should not have won that fight. So he should be 0-2 on the Contender Series in my opinion. And Lucas Alexander, while he also hasn't been looking great, he looks more impressive in my opinion. Like his fight against Steven Peterson, that was a good performance. He looked fast, he looked sharp. He was lighting up Steven Peterson, and yeah, he got slept by Jekka Saragi, but Jekka Saragi's got that power in the first round. You can't underestimate Jekka Saragi, and it was kind of like a weird thing where Alexander got up from a scramble and got caught as he was turning around. Kind of a weird thing, but I don't know. I don't think Bogdan Grad is as fast or explosive as Jekka Sergi. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him with a big shot like that. And I think Alexander, he's taller, rangier, quicker. He's a better striker. I just think he's going to be able to circle the outside, keep his range, find his counter strikes, and just keep landing 1-2s down the middle and win a pretty clear decision against Bogdan Grad, who I don't think is very good, and also looks like a troll. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. I'm going to go with Jasudavicius via a decision. I think the cardio is going to be a downfall for Bueno Silva. I think her cardio is mid, and Jasmine Jasudavicius has pretty good cardio, and I just think she's going to win the later rounds. And honestly, like, Mayra Bueno Silva is being overrated. Like, I'm seeing people pick her based off, like, higher level wins. Like, people are saying, oh, Mayra Bueno Silva, she's got a great resume. She has wins that Jasmine Jasudavicius could only dream about. Who is Bueno Silva beating? Who is Bueno Silva beating? Lena Landsberg? Stephanie Egger? Yanan Wu? Like, who was she beating? Like, those are not like elite level wins. Like Jasuda Vicious, call me crazy, call me a casual. Jasuda Vicious has wins over Ariana Lipsky and Fatima Klein. Those are similar level wins. Miranda Maverick, like, those are similar level wins. So I don't know what people are saying about fucking Mayra Bueno Silva having this god tier resume, because she doesn't. She just straight up doesn't, and her cardio is going to be the downfall in this fight, and I'm picking Jasuda Vicious by decision. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. You shouldn't have submitted me. Real hardcores will get that one, but yeah, I'm gonna go Terrence McKinney, man, by first round KO, probably in like 30 seconds or some shit. This is just a free, easy win for Terrence McKinney. The UFC's trying to, they're trying to get back on Terrence McKinney's good side after feeding him to Esteban Ribovics, the future lightweight goat. But yeah, man, this is a free win. Damir's getting KO'd. He's slower, older, worse at every area of MMA. He's more durable. That's about it. But I don't know. I don't see him. I don't see him beating Terrence McKinney. If it wasn't Terrence McChinney, I would have the odds as 100-0 for McKinney. But it's Terrence McChinney, so even having him as a 70% lock is very nerve-wracking because, a gust of wind could fucking turn this guy into Ronnie McNutt. So you always got to be careful when you're picking a Terrence McKinney fight. And if he loses this, cut him from the UFC. I'm not going to lie to you. If he loses to Damir Hadzovic, it's off to the GFL to fight Tony Ferguson in a 5-round main event. That's all I'm going to say to you. Like, Damir Hadzovic, his last fight was in 2022 against Mark Jacasey, where he got, like, raped and assaulted. And then in 2021 was his last win against Yancy Medeiros. Like, before that, he got submitted by Renato Moicano. You shouldn't have submitted me. And, I don't know, his resume's not good. He's not a good fighter, and I think Terrence McKinney is going to fucking steamroll this guy. Um, but yeah, if he loses, then I don't know, man. Fucking Terrence McKinney versus Kevin Holland. See who fucking loses. But yeah, let's get on to the next fight. Shamil the Meal Deal Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. Shamil the Blob Gaziev. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I think this is going to be a big meaty hook finish for Shamil Gaziev. He's going to go out there. He's going to put the pace on Thomas Peterson with his elite cardio. And I think he's going to break him down and get a second round big meaty hook TKO. Thomas Peterson is shit. I'm not going to lie to you. He did decent in the first round against, what's that fat fuck's name? Fucking, he's obese and black. What's his name? Jamal Pogues. That's his name, the obese black guy. He did good against Jamal Pogues in the first round, got him down, but Shamil Gaziev is the future heavyweight GOAT. He's 10 times the fighter that Jamal Pogues is, and I think he's going to go out there, win some big meaty hooks, and win via being a fat dude with cardio. And Thomas Peterson is a fat dude without cardio. So, yeah, got to go with Shamil Gaziev here, the meal deal. And yeah, this is a lock for me, I'm not going to lie. This should be an easy win for Shamil. I don't know why he's not fighting up. He looked good against Dontel Mays in his last fight. I think that's who his last fight was against. And yeah, he's just. I think he should be fighting up. After this, I think he should get a top 15 opponent after this. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Fares Ziem versus Mike Davis. I'm gonna be going with Mike Davis via a unanimous decision. I want Ziem to win. I'm gonna be rooting for Fares Ziem, but I don't know, man. Like, I just think he's being overhyped, and sometimes you can't pick who you want to win. Sometimes you got to pick who you think is going to win, and I'm going to pick Mike Davis because I think he's going to win. I think ZM is being overhyped, especially after the Fervola KO, which, to be fair, really nice KO, one of the best KOs of 2024. But Mike Davis, man, like, he's a great grappler. He's very composed, and he has a lot of fight IQ, and I think that's going to carry him in the Fares ZM fight here. And, for SZM, he's good from range. He's tall and rangy. He's got, people are going to think, oh, he's got the frame advantage. Davis, he looks like, a shorter, kind of stockier guy. No, Davis is just like a massive dude for lightweight. He's 6 foot with a 72.5-inch reach. So he's going to be matching ZM pretty close in height and reach. ZM's going to be a little taller and longer, but like look at the build difference of Davis and ZM. Look at the midsection size. Look at the chest size, the arm size. Davis is just a bigger dude than Fares ZM. And, like, he almost matches the height and reach. And I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for ZM, as, he's been fighting a lot of, kind of shorter opponents. Guys like Matt Fervola and, other guys like that. And I'm convinced people haven't watched, ZM's other fights. Because if you've watched his other fights and you've seen Mike Davis fights, most people will be picking Mike Davis. Like, he's very composed. He has a high fight IQ. He's smart. He's crafty. He's really good on the ground. Which I think is where he's going to win this fight. Davis, he's very good at taking people down. He took down Borshev like 9 times, I think. I know Borshev doesn't have the best takedown defense, but still, like, he was chaining takedowns on Borshev like it was nothing. And he got Natan Levy down and subbed him in 2 rounds, which is also pretty impressive. And ZM, he got taken down 6 times by Claudio Puelles. I know that fight says split decision, but ZM should have won that, like, unanimously. I thought ZM won that 3-0, but he still got taken down 6 times by a lesser grappler in Claudio Puelles. And I think Mike Davis is better, stronger, smarter. He's just better than Claudio Puelles. And if Claudio Puelles can take you down 6 times, I think Mike Davis can take you down even more and actually hold you on the ground and control you. Mike Davis, he's going to be stronger than ZM. And I think ZM's going to have a lot more trouble, sort of getting up and scrambling for Mike Davis. Matt Fervola was taking this guy down. I really like ZM. I want him to win, but I do think Mike Davis is just going to outcraft him. And even on the feet, Davis, he gets under the inside and boxes you up. ZM, he likes to keep his range. If ZM can't keep him at range, then I don't think ZM is going to have very much success in this fight. But yeah, man, got to go Mike Davis here. He is my pick. Let's move on to the next fight. NPC featherweight time, Mahaban Naimov versus Con Offley. Mahaban Naimov is actually, he's not really an NPC. He's pretty solid, but Con Offley, definitely an NPC, dude from Australia. He got starched in his UFC debut by Myron Santos. And Naimov, he has power and he's skilled, and he's better than Myron Santos. So I think he's gonna KO. I think he's gonna KO Con Offley in the second round. I don't know, not really much to say. Naimov lost his last fight to Felipe Lima, but Felipe Lima is a very promising prospect in the featherweight division, in my opinion. He's very good. And, Naimov, he has some other decent wins. He beat Eric Silva, decent win. He beat Nathaniel Wood, which I actually kind of rate that. Nathaniel Wood's pretty good. And Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey's mid. Yeah. But Naimov, I just think he's, bit of a level. I think he's a few levels above Con Offley. Con Offley has not shown me anything where. He hasn't shown me anything that makes me want to pick him against Muhammad Naimov. I think he's going to lose. Maybe he surprises us and does pretty good, but I don't know, man. NPC Australian. I just think Naimov's going to KO him. Let's move on to the next fight. Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. I'm going to go with Said Nurmagomedov by a split decision. This is going to be a very close fight. This is going to be a sick fight. Great matchmaking from the UFC to put this one together. But, man, I don't know if Vinicius is ready for this, man. After the Sopai fight, he got taken down and controlled at will by Bernardo Sopai. I know he got the flying knee finish, which is what most people talk about from that fight, but if you go rewatch the fight, Sopai was dominating him on the ground, comfortably. And from what we've seen from Sopai, yeah, he looks like a good grappler, but we don't know if he's going to be able to do that against, the elite competition. We haven't seen Bernardo Sopai against those guys. Said, we have seen against much higher level competition, and his grappling has held up. So, from what we know, Said's a better grappler than Sopai, just from what we know, from what we've seen. And if Bernardo Sopai is doing that to Vinicius Oliveira, I see no problem with Said doing that to Vinicius Oliveira. So, I don't know. I just think Vinicius Oliveira, I think this is a bad matchup for Vinicius Oliveira. Not only because of the grappling. I know people look at the last name Nurmagomedov and they're probably going to think, oh, this guy's just a wrestler. Said Nurmagomedov is a tall, rangy, quick striker in the bantamweight division. He is. He usually has a speed advantage over his opponents on the feet. And, he's very flashy. He's very good with his kicks. And, I think he's going to give Oliveira problems on the feet in the first round. I think he's going to be quicker in the first round. I think he's going to be, throwing more volume, throwing more output. He's going to be catching Vinicius. He's going to be able to match the range. And, yeah, I mean, I don't think Vinicius is going to have much success in the first round. And then, Said, obviously, he slows down in his fights. He's going to start to slow down after the first round. But that's when he pulls out the grappling. And we've seen Oliveira get offensively grappled, consistently. I know Ricky Simón kind of struggled with that, but Ricky Simón's not this great grappler that people think he is. He doesn't have this, elite grappling pace that he just puts on everybody. He doesn't. And, even in that fight, Ricky Simón had some success in the grappling. And I think Said is a much better grappler and just much better fighter overall than Ricky Simón. So I think first round, he's a little bit faster than Vinicius Oliveira. He outlands him, outstrikes him. And then in the second round, when Said starts to slow down, Oliveira's going to, come out. He's going to be more reckless. He has a very reckless, sort of wild style, which is going to, lead to Oliveira throwing himself into a bunch of takedown attempts from Said. And I think Said's going to land those takedown attempts pretty comfortably. And he's going to control Vinicius on the ground. Maybe by the third round, he's slowed down too much and he can't really get the takedowns, can't really keep up with Oliveira. And Oliveira wins the third round, but I don't know, man. I don't see Oliveira finishing him unless Said, completely gasses out, fully, but I don't see that happening. I do think it's going to be a very close fight, but I do think it's a bit of a bad style matchup for Vinicius Oliveira, and I think Said Nurmagomedov is going to win a split decision. I pick split because, like I said, it all depends on how, if Said slows down too much or not. Because if Said slows down too much, that second round might be a lot more competitive, but I don't think he's going to slow down too bad. I think he should be able to win round 1 and 2 pretty comfortably, and then Oliveira probably wins round 3. But yeah, got to go Said here, man. Well, maybe you don't have to go Said. Oliveira's a good pick, but yeah, man, great fight, close fight. Let's move on to the next fight. Sergey Pavlovich, Big Meaty Hooks, versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at my prediction and you're going, what is this guy on about? What is that pick? Hear me out. Hear me out. This fight goes one of two ways. Either Pavlovich round 1 races him, or Rozenstruik picks him apart, dances on the outside, and wins a decision. Rozenstruik? I'm picking Rozenstruik. I'm picking Jairzinho Rozenstruik to win a unanimous decision. I think he's going to be able to evade Pavlovich in the first round. He's going to be able to evade the basic 1-2 flurry combos from Pavlovich. And he's going to be able to land counters, mix it up to the body and to the legs, and win a decision. There is a clear path to beating Sergey Pavlovich. It's been sitting in the back of my head, watching the Curtis Blades fight, the Tai Tuivasa fight, the Derek Lewis fight. There has been a clear game plan in the back of my head this whole time to beating Sergey Pavlovich, and Volkov figured it out. Volkov proved that game plan is the real deal. Don't brawl with Sergey. Keep at range. Worry about your defense. And stay technical. And you will beat Sergey Pavlovich. The problem is, The reason people are all like, oh, Pavlovich, he's sleeping all these guys in the first round, because they're brawling with him. Curtis Blades is a wrestler. He brawls on the feet with Pavlovich. Tai Tuivasa, the fat retard, brawls on the feet with Sergey Pavlovich. Derek Lewis, fat, black, obese guy, brawls with Sergey Pavlovich. All these guys are brawling with him. The two guys that I have seen keep it technical against Sergey Pavlovich, Alistair Overeem and Alexander Volkov. What were the outcome of both of those fights? Volkov schooled him and 30-27'd him. Alistair Overeem finished him. Pavlovich does significantly worse against technical guys. Guys who come in with technical approaches, mix up their attacks, and don't brawl. I think that's what Rosenstruck's going to do. He's not going to brawl. He's going to keep his counters going. He's going to mix it up to the body and to the head and to the legs. He's going to mix up his attacks. He's going to frustrate Pavlovich, dance around on the outside, and pick him apart and win a decision. Pavlovich is so predictable in the first round. It's just all these fat heavyweights think, yeah, I'm going to brawl with this big Russian scary dude with an 84-inch reach and fast hands. I'm going to brawl with this dude. Fucking Tai Tuivasa. Dude, you could go down to... Dude, Tai Tuivasa could be a welterweight. Why are you brawling with Sergey Pavlovich? You could be like a decent-sized welterweight. Like, you're just fat, Tai. I'm sorry. Like, Derek Lewis, you're just fat. Like, you're not going to be able to brawl with this big Russian dude. Almost nobody can. Unless you're Tom Aspinall, you can't brawl with Sergey. Rosenstruck's not going to brawl. Rosenstruck's going to keep it measured. He's going to stay technical. He's not going to brawl. And he's going to win a decision. Mark my words. Rosenstruck picks apart Pavlovich and wins a decision. Similar to what Volkov did. Probably not as dominant. I think Pavlovich is going to have a lot more success in this one. Because Rosenstruck's not going to be as quick. He's not going to be as tall and rangy. But he has the technique down. And he's a great counter striker. And he mixes it up to the body and to the legs really well. None of Pavlovich's previous wins mix it up like that. Curtis Blades, brawler. Well, he's a wrestler, but he brawled. Tai Tuivasa, brawler. Derek Lewis, brawler. All these guys just brawled, and they lost because you can't brawl with a big fucking buff Russian dude. Rosenstruck's not going to brawl. The one thing that makes me worried in this fight is that Sergey Pavlovich is low-key racist. He low-key doesn't like black people, which might cause Rosenstruck some problems, but no, I think Rosenstruck can break the curse of racist Pavlovich, and I think he's going to pick him apart. I think the game plan after the Volkov fight, I think the game plan for Pavlovich has been figured out. I think, we're going to see a lot of people trying to pick apart Pavlovich, and I think people are going to start to have a lot more success against him when they realize, oh, I don't have to brawl. I can, stay technical. And we're going to see Pavlovich be a lot less scary than he usually is. And yeah, I'm picking Rosenstruck. Maybe this pick ages really bad, and Rosenstruck gets ended in the first round, and like his head comes off his shoulders. But no, I mean Pavlovich, he's predictable in the feet. He doesn't mix up his attacks. He just rushes in with his hands up. And Rosenstruck, he's going to be able to land counters. He's going to be able to evade, and he's going to be able to pick apart Sergey Pavlovich and win a measured, sophisticated, smart, well-rounded decision. That was a lot of big words. I'm picking Rosenstruck. Let's move on to the next fight. Shara Magomedov versus Michael Venom Page. I'm going to go with Michael Page via a 29-28 split decision. Realistically, it's going to be a 30-27 schooling for Michael Venom Page, but they're going to try and rob him. They're going to try and give it to Shara. But, man, I just think it's going to be so one-sided that you can't even give it to Shara. You're going to have to give it to Page. Man, I think Shara's cooked. You cannot strike with MVP. Any pure striker from welterweight and middleweight, I would pick, if they don't have grappling to go to, I'm picking Michael Venom Page to beat them. You cannot strike with this dude. Shara, yes, he's really good. He's a pure striker. He's very flashy. Had one of the best knockouts of 2024 last year with the double spinning back fist against Armin Petrosian. But, you cannot strike with Michael Venom Page. You can't. Shara's only chance on the feet is, a very lucky, out-of-nowhere KO. But, I don't see that happening. Shara's power isn't that good. He doesn't have that kind of power that people think he does. His power is overrated. And, he's such a kick-heavy fighter, too. MVP likes to counter off of kicks. He's gonna, Shara's gonna try and, win up, a head kick. And MVP's gonna blitz in and fucking land a huge right hand on Shara as he's kicking. And I just think, Shara's style is just gonna get countered completely by MVP's style. MVP's gonna be faster. He's gonna be taller and rangier. He's gonna be way more skilled on the feet. And the welterweight skill, welterweight to middleweight, people, you'll hear people like Lucas Tracy talk about the lighter man skill. Welterweight to middleweight might be the biggest skill gap between two divisions in the UFC. And I don't know, I just think Michael Venom Page is going to put on a show. He's going to counter Shara off of all the kicks. He's going to be landing big. He's going to be speed blitzing him. He's going to be too quick for Shara. And Shara doesn't have the grappling to go to. Like Ian Gary, he went to the grappling and the wrestling. Shara is not going to be able to do that. He doesn't have that grappling and wrestling to go to. So he's just going to be stuck on the feet, being outpointed, outspeeded, going to be getting lit up by MVP, and he's going to lose a very clear decision. They might try to rob him, but I swear to God, if MVP gets robbed, I'm going to be pissed off. But no, I think MVP should win this one pretty comfortably. You just can't pick against him in a pure striking battle. I know he's old, but like, go watch the Ian Gary fight. He doesn't look old. Like the guy was like completely outspeeding and outclassing Ian Gary on the feet. Like Ian Gary's a better striker than Shara. I don't care what you say. He's like probably not by like a mile, but he is a better striker than Shara. And Ian Gary was kind of getting embarrassed on the feet. He had to grapple the whole time. And like Kevin Holland, he made Kevin Holland look slow. Like Kevin Holland is a fast, accurate striker. Say what you want about Kevin Holland. Call him what you want. He is a fast, accurate striker, and he's tall and rangy. This guy couldn't touch Michael Venom Page. He could not land a finger on Michael Venom Page. Like, he's too hard to hit. He's too fast. He's too skilled. He's got the range. I just think he's gonna like smoke and school Shara. Maybe I don't think he's gonna get a finish. Shara's pretty durable. But like, dude, I went back and rewatched some Shara fights. Shara is so hittable as well. Like, he just is. Like in the Armin Petrosian fight, Armin was arguably winning that fight. In the fucking Antonio Tricoli fight, Tricoli was having moments where he was landing right hands on Shara and pushing him back. Like in the Mikhail Aleksejic fight, Mikhail was keeping up with him in output, and he dropped fucking Shara in the first round. Like, I just think this is gonna be a bad matchup for Shara. MVP's gonna dance around. He's gonna be too quick, too rangy, too skilled. The welterweight skill advantage is gonna really be showing here, and I think Shara is gonna earn his first loss. The experience of MVP as well. I think it's gonna be a crafty old man sort of style, not style, but a crafty old man in Michael Venom Page is gonna style on the young up and comer. We've seen this happen time and time again. I don't think Shara is ready for Michael Venom Page. And, I think he's going to take his first loss, which is kind of funny because people were talking about how, he's not going to lose until he fights a wrestler. But the fraud check is about to come to a striker. And I don't even think it's going to be a fraud check. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's going to be expected. Like, losing to Michael Venom Page on the feet is not a fraud check. The guy schooled Ian Gary and made Kevin Holland look slow. Like, that's not a fraud check for Shara at all. Like, I still think Shara is going to be able to come back and prove and look even better in his next fight, but do think he's going to take his first loss in this fight. I do believe so. And yeah, I got to go with MVP to get this one done. It's going to be a unanimous 30-27, but they're going to try and rob him. It's just going to be so one-sided that they can't, and MVP is going to, get his deserved win. Let's move on to the main event next. Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. I'm going to be picking Imavov via a third-round TKO. I was watching some tape for this fight, and I just think Imavov is going to cause a lot of problems for Adesanya, similar to the problems that Strickland and Pereira caused to Adesanya, where they all have this sort of stalking style, if that makes sense. I'm going to explain it to you right now what I mean when I say a stalker. Imavov, Strickland, and Pereira all do this. They have this sort of stalker approach where they will walk you down, and they will look for a finish, but not like a brawler, how, the brawler will kind of just, win random overhands, look for power punches. A stalker will walk you down in a measured technical approach where they still manage distance, they still look for the proper openings, they will still, try to bait you into bringing your hands down, and, they just do it in like a smart technical way. And Mavov does that really well. He did it to Jared Cannonier, he did it to Roman Dolidze, and he's technical, man, he's good. And I think Adesanya at this stage in his career, he's not as fast as he used to be. He's not going to have the confidence going into the Dricus fight. He put all of the rest of his confidence into that Dricus fight just to still get submitted. His confidence is going to be low in this fight. I'm not going to lie to you. And Imavov is going to capitalize off of that. He's going to be threatening takedowns, which is going to leave Adesanya open on the feet. We've seen in the Dricus fight when Adesanya has a threat of the takedown, he leaves himself open quite often on the feet. Dricus caught him on the feet because he was threatening takedowns, and that's what led Adesanya to getting taken down and finished. I don't think Imavov is going to take him on the ground and finish him there. I think he's going to be baiting Adesanya with takedowns, and I think he's going to, land a huge shot on the feet and find the finish. Because Imavov, he has very fast hands. He is powerful, contrary to popular belief. He does have hands. He should have got the first round finish over Roman Dolidze, in my opinion. Maybe. You could argue that. He dropped Roman bad and almost got a ground and pound finish. He finished Jared Cannonier, and, the guy has power. And he's very aggressive. Aggressive people who are still technical cause problems for Izzy. It's that stalker style, like I just explained. It's going to cause a lot of problems for Izzy, and even more so with Imavov, because unlike Strickland and Pereira, Imavov is going to have the threat of the takedown. And, he's a similar height to Adesanya. He's not too outreached, kind of 5-inch reach disadvantage for Imavov. So, I mean, Izzy could probably make some work if he keeps him at range, but Imavov knows how to get past range. He knows how to get in on the inside and, find his openings. I think he has faster hands than Adesanya. If he gets in on the inside, he will outbox Adesanya up close. And I think he's going to find the finish after, threatening some takedowns, probably getting a few takedowns on Izzy. Izzy's going to be more open, more worried about the takedowns. And when Izzy's worried about the takedowns, he is hittable. And being hittable against Imavov is not a good thing. I think Imavov is going to finish Israel Adesanya. I think he is going to put the nail in the coffin. And this is going to be the end of Israel Adesanya's career. And this is going to be a huge breakout win for Nasruddin Imavov. I also want to talk about the durability of Nasruddin Imavov. This guy has underrated durability and an underrated chin. I've never even seen this guy get rocked or wobbled, let alone getting finished. Like, this guy's taking clean shots from Jared Cannonier and Roman Dolidze, who are both power punchers, and he just ate it. Like, he didn't even get wobbled from any of it. And, like, I'm seeing people say Adesanya is going to land a counter and sleep him like he did to Pereira. No, I don't see that happening. Imavov's way too durable for that. He's more durable, way more durable than most of Izzy's opponents. Way more durable than Pereira, more durable than Strickland, and, he couldn't even find the finish on Strickland. But yeah, man, like, I don't know, Imavov's just too durable. That's another big reason why I think Adesanya is going to have struggles in this fight. He's going to be trying to look for the counter, and I think he will land a few good counters, but he's going to be very worried when Imavov doesn't even get rocked, and Imavov still pushes forward, and, still trying to get on the inside and box him up. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this card, who you guys are picking, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.